So good morning. My name is Leticia Reynoso. I am the agency manager at CBR, and today we're going to be reviewing your benefits for the 2021 plan year. So during the presentation, please feel free to stop me if you have questions on anything that I will be going over. I will also send my contact information. So if you would like to send me a question directly, or give me a phone call if you have questions that you don't want to ask here. So we're going to go over the changes for 2021. So the medical benefits are moving from Aetna to Blue Cross Blue Shield effective January 1, 2021. Your dental plan stays the same, no changes to the vision. And then we have some changes to the voluntary products, the life insurance, and then some exciting AFLAC changes as well. Open enrollment starts today and will terminate on November 21st. So we ask that everybody use their JarwaNet link, the payroll, where you go and view your paycheck, etc. Use that to enroll in your medical, dental, vision, and make any AFLAC selections. Once you review those plans, you are going to be locked in for a full 12 months or when you enroll. So the medical, dental, and the vision, those are locked in for 12 months. You cannot make any changes unless you have a qualified event. You'll see some examples of those on the screen, some marriage, divorce, birth of a child, etc. You have 31 days from that date to notify your HR team that you'd like to make a change to your coverage. In regards to eligibility, so all employees that have met the pre-eligibility criteria are eligible for all benefits. Aside from yourself, your legal spouse, a domestic partner, and children up to the age of 26 are also eligible for your benefits. We're going to go over the medical plans that are being offered. Again, they are with Blue Cross Blue Shield using a national network. The first plan here is called the PPO 2000. So 2000 being the individual deductible and 4000 being the family deductible. Now, if you meet that deductible in the calendar year, you're going to go into that coinsurance. So you will be responsible for 20% of charges until you reach that out-of-pocket maximum of $6,350 as an individual, $12,700 as a family. Now, on this plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield, when your deductible is going to come into play is with inpatient, outpatient hospitalization services, MRIs, CAT scans, and durable medical equipment. All other services are going to have a copay associated with them. Now, in regards to the out-of-pocket maximum, all charges, so your deductible, your coinsurance, and all of your copays go towards meeting that out-of-pocket maximum. Your preventative care services, so those are your age-appropriate exams for the children, men, and women. So they're going to include your lab works that are associated with preventative care. Those are going to be covered at 100%. Age-appropriate exams, mammograms, PSA testing, those are all going to be covered as well at 100%. Colonoscopies at age 50, mammograms at age 40. Office visit. So if you need to go see your doctor for a sick visit or a walk-in clinic or a virtual visit, it's going to be a $30 copay for your regular doctor and $60 for your specialist. Your urgent care is a $75 copay per visit. Emergency room is a $250 copay. Now, when using the emergency room services, if you're going to be admitted into the hospital, those $250 is either going to be waived, and then you're going to start to pay towards your deductible, or it's going to apply towards your deductible. Prescriptions for your generic drugs, you're going to pay up to $10. So some of the local pharmacies have the $4 generics, so you're still going to pay the lesser of. So it's a $4 generic, you'll pay $4. If it's more than 4 and more than 10, you'll pay the maximum of $10. Your brand name preferred medications is going to be at a $35 copay. Your brand name non-preferred medications is going to be either $60 or $120 depending on the prescription. I do have the prescription list for all the tiers, so if you need to see that, I can email it over. And then for the specialty medication, you have 4 additional tiers with Blue Cross Blue Shield. And again, I can send that over if you're taking any kind of specialty medication or infusion therapy that's going to fall under specialty, and I can send over the list so you can review it. Any questions on this first plan? Okay, the next plan that's being offered is going to be the PPO 2500. So 2500 is the individual deductible and 5000 is going to be the family deductible. Now, again, if you meet that deductible, you're going to go into that co-insurance or cost share with Blue Cross Blue Shield. At that point, you're responsible for 20% of the cost until you meet that out-of-pocket maximum. Similar to the previous plan, all your co-pays, deductible, and co-insurance all are going to go towards meeting that out-of-pocket maximum. Your preventative care services are covered at 100%. On this one, the office visits goes up to $35. That's going to be your virtual doctor visits, your walk-in clinics, your sick visits. Those are all going to be $35 copay. And then your specialist is going to be $60 copay. And you may self-refer to specialist. Urgent care is a $75 copay per visit, and your emergency room is going to be $250 per visit. Same scenario applies if you're going to be admitted into the hospital. One or two things, the $250 is going to apply towards your deductible, or they're going to waive it, and then you start to pay towards your deductibles for those overnight stays. Generic drugs, you have the lesser of, you're going to pay the lesser of up to $10. Your brand name preferred is a $35 copay. Your brand name non-preferred is going to be $60 or $120, and then you have 4 additional tiers under that specialty. And again, if you'd like to see what that list looks like, I can send it over to you. Any questions on these two medical plans? Okay, next we have 2 more plans. Both of these are going to be high deductible health plans that qualify for a health savings account or HSA. So the first plan here is going to be a $3,000 individual deductible and $6,000 family deductible. Now on this plan, on both of these plans actually, you will pay the deductible before Blue Cross Blue Shield will start to pay towards your services, with the exception of all of your age-appropriate preventative exams and screenings and lab work, preventative drugs, and FDA-approved contraceptives. So all of those are going to be free at no cost to you and any family members enrolled in the plan. And that applies to both plans. So there are 2 different deductibles on these plans. So the first plan is going to be a $3,000 deductible individual, $6,000 for the family. If you meet that deductible in the calendar year, you're going to go into that cost share. And at that point, you're going to pay 10% of all expenses until you reach that out-of-pocket maximum. Same as the other plans, your co-insurance and your deductible go towards meeting that out-of-pocket maximum. Preventative care, as I stated earlier, is going to be covered at 100%. Preventative drugs are going to be covered at 100%, and FDA-approved contraceptives are going to be covered at 100%. And I do have the list of preventative drugs. If you'd like to review that before making a selection, a plan selection. All other services, including non-preventative drugs, are going to be subject to your deductible first. The next plan is the PPO 5000. That increases your deductible, 5,000 as an individual and 10,000 as a family. Now, if you meet that deductible, you will go into that co-insurance, and then you'll pay the 20% until you reach the out-of-pocket maximum. And just as to reiterate, preventative care services, age-appropriate screenings and lab work, preventative medication, and FDA-approved contraceptives are covered before deductible at no cost to you. All other services rendered are going to be subject to your deductible, and that includes pharmacy. Both of these plans qualify for HSA or health savings account. So you may have, if you have your HSA account now with UMB Bank and you will be re-enrolling in a high deductible health plan, you do not need to open a new HSA account or new UMB account. You can keep that same account. Any questions on this high deductible health, these high deductible health plans? Okay, so we're going to go over the health savings account or HSA. So a few qualifiers in order to open your HSA account. Number 1, you must enroll in a high deductible health plan, and you have the option of 2 here. Number 2, you cannot be covered under another plan that is not a high deductible health plan. So if you're on a spouse's plan, a domestic partner, a TRICARE, any plan that is co-pay before your deductible, it excludes you from opening an HSA account. You cannot be enrolled in any part of Medicare, and you cannot be claimed as dependent on another person's tax return. So those are qualifiers to open your health savings account. And some changes for the 2021 plan year in regards to the maximum you can put into your HSA account. It's $3,600 for an individual and $7,200 for the family. Again, these are pre-tax deductions, pre-tax dollars that go into this account, and that helps lower your taxable income. So that's a good tax savings there. Then the maximum, like I stated earlier, $3,600 and $7,200. Now, under IRS rules, a family is going to be 1+. So it could be you plus a spouse or a child or an entire family, and that's a max of $7,200. If you are 55+, you can add an additional $1,000, making it $4,600 and $8,200. Now, if you're married and you and your spouse are both on a high deductible health plan, combined, you cannot exceed the $7,200 or the $8,200 if you're both over 55. Again, these HSA dollars is your money. It stays with you, goes with you. You own that account 100%. You may use those HSA dollars to pay for medical expenses, dental expenses, or vision for yourself, your spouse, and qualified dependents. Any questions on the health savings account or high deductible health plan? Next, we'll go over the flexible spending account, or FSA. Now, this flexible spending account is a standalone plan, which means you do not need to enroll in any other coverages in order to enroll in the flexible spending account, or FSA. So max election for the 2021 plan year is $2,500. It does have a max rollover of $500, which means anything in excess of $500 on the last day of that current plan year will be forfeited. One of the similarities to an HSA is that it is a pre-tax deduction or a pre-tax election. So again, lowering your taxable income. With the FSA that's here on the screen, the dollars that you select are front loaded on a Visa card, which means you can start to utilize those dollars day one for yourself, qualified dependents, for medical, dental, and vision. One of the differences is the max rollover is $500, and if you leave the company, this account gets turned off. You do not take it with you. Any questions on the flexible spending account? Okay, you also have dependent care FSA or flexible spending account. Again, pre-tax dollars that go into an account that you may utilize to pay for daycare or elderly care services. You can use that money as it's deposited to pay your providers or pay yourself back after you paid with your paid out of pocket. All right, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So beginning of the plan year, the telemedicine is changing to Blue Care Anywhere. So your medical, counseling, and psychiatry services are available by board-certified physicians and clinicians at no cost to you and any family members enrolled. So you may use the medical, the consultative, diagnostic type visits, and it's going to be at zero copay. The doctors may write a prescription to a pharmacy that's closest to you. For counseling and psychiatry, you do keep that same provider until the termination of the treatment. And if it needs to continue, they will refer you out to in-person treatment if necessary. Again, at no cost to you or any family members enrolled in Blue Cross Blue Shield plans. You will get additional information in your Blue Cross Blue Shield welcome kit when you get your ID card. You will have to go in and register for these services, and you can also download the app to your telephone so you have it ready to go when you need to utilize these services. Any questions on Blue Care Anywhere? Dental option. So no changes to the current plans. You still have the same plans available. So the first plan is going to be your PPO base plan. So this is your traditional dental plan where you have an allowance to use towards your dental services. In this case being $1,500 per person enrolled in the plan. And then you have an additional $1,000 to use towards child orthodontia. That's one-time lifetime benefit per child. Preventive services, your cleanings twice a year, x-rays, those are going to be covered at 100%. And for your cleanings, you may schedule those at any time during the calendar year. You do not need to space them out. Additionally, if you have any type of coronary heart disease or are currently pregnant, you have a third cleaning at no cost. And it is on the honor system, which means you just tell your dentist that you're eligible for that third cleaning. You do not need to provide any type of medical information. Basic services are going to be cavities, emergency services or emergency extractions are going to be covered at 80% and you pay 20%. Major services, endodontics, periodontics, implants, dentures, those are going to be covered at 50-50. Now, if you utilize the basic services or the major services, you are going to be subject to a one-time deductible of $50 as an individual or $150 as a family. If you don't use the basic services or major services, you will never have to worry about that deductible. The next plan that's available is the Delta Care DHMO plan. So this plan has no annual deductible and no annual maximum. Your preventative care services, which are 2 cleanings a year, are going to be covered at 100%. Additional cleanings are $40 per cleaning, and you may schedule this as needed, as often as needed. All other services are going to be on a fee schedule. And with this plan, you do have to select a primary dentist, and that dentist will coordinate all of your care if you need to go to a specialist. At any time during the plan year, you may change that provider as well. If you do not pick a provider upon enrollment, Delta Care will assign one to you and your family based on your home zip code. Again, you can change it at any time during the calendar year, and each person in the family may have their own provider as well. This next screen shows as an example of the fee schedule. This is attached to the invite as well. It's a multi-page document. And how these plans work or how the service is rendered is you look for the diagnostic code or something that explains what you're going to have done. And then that is your out-of-pocket expense. It does cover child orthodontia and adult orthodontia. So most of the, or all of the diagnostic or preventative care services are going to be at no cost to you. And then all other treatments have a dental code. And then again, you just follow along and see what your out-of-pocket cost is going to be. If you have children on the plan, they do have pediatric dental, but that is only up to age 8. Any children above age 8 will have to go to a regular dentist or the services will not be covered. Any questions on the dental? All right, Delta Dental also has a website that you may visit, or they have a mobile app that you can download to your telephone. You can see how much of the benefit you've utilized, download your ID card, find a provider, or review your explanation of benefits, either online or via the mobile app. Vision plan, no changes to the vision plan. It's still with iMed using the Insight network. So your eye exam is available every 12 months, and it is a rolling 12 months, which means if you went and received your eye exam on July 1st, 2020, you will have to wait until July 1st, 2021 or thereafter to schedule your exam. Your frame is available every 12 months. You have a $120 allowance to use towards those frames and then the 20% discount above that balance. Your plastic single vision, bifocal, or trifocal are going to be at a $10 copay. Contact lenses also available every 12 months in lieu of the lenses for your frames is an $80 allowance and then 15% discount above that. Medically necessary contact lenses are going to be covered in full. Any questions? Okay, some changes for the life insurance. The company will continue to provide the $10,000 of life and AD&D for all eligible employees. We did send out a new beneficiary form that we would like everyone to complete and update as necessary. Now, you're going to update it for the January 1 effective date, but anytime during the 2021 plan year, if you have a qualified event, marriage, divorce, or you want to update your beneficiary form, you may do so at any time during the calendar year. It's very important to keep that in mind. And then going over the changes with MetLife. So it is all employees working 20 plus hours are eligible for the life insurance. It is still 5 times your annual base earnings up to $500,000. And then the guarantee issue for those that are newly eligible, it's 5 times your base annual earnings up to $200,000 for yourself. And for your spouse is $25,000 and children $10,000. And the guarantee issue means that you will not be subject to any medical underwriting, so no questions asked. The benefit reduction on this new plan with MetLife does not exist. So whatever amount you purchase of life insurance, that's the amount that you keep till the termination of the policy. Any questions on the life and AD&D? Short-term and long-term disability is also moving to MetLife. So the short-term disability starts to pay at the 14th day of illness, hospitalization, or accident. It covers 60% of your pre-disability earnings. Now your pre-disability earnings are now going to include your base wages, bonus, and commissions. That's all going to be figured into that 60%. And it pays up to $1,000 a week. The maximum duration is 11 weeks. And we'll go over the pre-existing condition in a minute. Long-term disability begins to pay at the 90th day or at the termination of the short-term disability policy. Again, 60% of your pre-disability earnings, base, commission, and bonus, pays up to $7,500 per month. And this plan lasts until age 65 or normal Social Security retirement age. The pre-existing limitation applies for those of you that are enrolling for the first time. So if you're enrolled in either of these benefits today, you've probably already satisfied that pre-existing limitation. So the way that works is if you saw a provider, took medication, or were diagnosed with a condition 3 months prior to the effective date, which is January 1st, 2021, and you go on leave in 2021 for that same condition, it would not be compensable until the following year. So it's a 12-month elimination period. If it's something completely different, then it would be covered. Any questions on the short-term or long-term disability? Okay, we're going to review the Employee Assistance Plan, or EAP. You do have 2 EAP programs. So the first one is available to all employees regardless if they enroll in any of the benefits. It is provided by Support Link. There is a flyer that was attached to your invite as well. You can go to the website cbrmysupportportal.com and register there, take advantage of all the services that are available. Aside from the 3 face-to-face visits per issue, per family member. Again, those are unlimited benefits to yourself and all of your dependents. There are also on the website some self-help videos and discount programs that are available. The MetLife program is also available to all employees that are enrolled in the life insurance program sponsored by the company. Again, you have your face-to-face consultations per incident. You have additional services available through MetLife. So will prep, counseling, travel assist program that helps in the event that you travel outside of 100 miles outside of your home zip code and you need medical attention. You lost your ID, you lost your passport if you're traveling abroad, when that is a thing again. You can use these services and they will help coordinate all of that in your language. So really good services are provided by MetLife. We also have some changes or enhancements to the AFLAC products. So the AFLAC products, do we have anybody from AFLAC on the phone? Ashley.
Yes. Yep.
Hey,
I'm here.
So
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. So Ashley's going to go over the changes to the AFLAC products. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Okay, so yes, you guys are continuing to offer AFLAC this year, but we're going to make a few changes. So the new changes is you guys are being offered AFLAC group plans, which most of the time have richer benefits and are a little bit better, so it offers you guys some cost savings. So all of these plans are guaranteed issues, so there's no health questions that you have to answer, and we're going to continue to offer the same plans as before. So recap, if you guys are a new hire and maybe aren't familiar with AFLAC, this is supplemental coverage, which pays you, so completely separate from major medical. You know, major medical pays the doctors, the hospitals. These are indemnity plans that go into place that pay you based on, you know, the plans that you have. So there's an accident plan that's going to pay you for any on or off the job injury, and it pays based on the treatment that you have done. So there's a big long schedule of benefits, but just like a brief overview, something small like, you know, maybe you twist your ankle and you go into urgent care. For going into urgent care, Aflac's going to pay you $200, and then they're going to pay you based on what they do in there. So you're paid all the way from an x-ray, you know, if you have a sprain, if they bring you back for follow-up visits. There's a bunch of different things that are offered for that. Can you guys hear me? It's saying that I'm muted now.
Ashley, I think we can all hear you.
Okay, it keeps saying you're muted, so I wanted to make sure. Okay, so again, it's going to pay all throughout the treatment that you're having done. Something more major, like maybe you get in a car accident and are admitted to the hospital. It's going to pay all the way from an ambulance ride, being admitted to the hospital would pay $1,250, and then based on what they do in the hospital. So something more major, you know, like a car accident, if you had a surgery, it's going to pay you based on the surgery that you have. All the way from, you know, MRIs, CT scans, if you had to have like extra blood, again, follow-up visits, physical therapy, all of those things. And then the accident plan also includes an accidental death life insurance policy. So that's $50,000 on you. If you cover a spouse, it's $25,000 on a spouse. And then any dependent child that you have under age 26 would be covered on the policy, and they would be covered for $10,000 on the accident plan. Any questions on accident insurance? Okay, so next we'll move over to the critical illness policy. So this is a guaranteed issue policy, and it's going to pay you based on the amount that you decide to cover yourself for. So there's a $15,000 or a $30,000 policy, and it's going to pay that amount in the event you're diagnosed with internal cancer, you have a heart attack, sudden cardiac arrest, a major organ transplant, a bone marrow transplant, which is like a stem cell transplant, kidney failure, or a stroke. So basically, you get to choose the amount that you would cover yourself for. Upon that diagnosis, you would submit information to AFLAC, and they would just pay you that lump sum amount. And then, of course, you can use the money however you want for that policy. Also included on the critical illness plan is a health screening benefit. So once per year, if you decide to cover yourself, and if you cover a spouse as well, there's a $50 wellness benefit that's paid out each year that you have a cancer screening. If you cover yourself on the critical illness policy, any dependent children that you have under age 26 are covered for free on that plan. Any questions on critical illness? Okay, let's move to hospital. So the hospital plan is more broad coverage. So we just talked about accident that pays for, you know, any on or off the job injury, critical illness, which is geared towards those specific diseases. The hospital plan is going to pay out for any reason that you're admitted into the hospital. So due to an injury, due to a sickness, due to a planned surgery, due to childbirth, any reason you're admitted, it's going to pay out $2,000 upon being admitted to the hospital. If you're there additional days, it's going to pay $200 each additional day that you're in the hospital. If you were in an ICU care, that's going to pay $200 each day as well. And then if they step you down into an intermediate intensive care step down unit, that's $100 each day as well. Also on the hospital plan, there is a $50 wellness benefit per covered person covered on the policy. And that's just if you have an annual health screening, like your physical, went to the dentist, had your eye exam done, anything like that. And again, this is a guaranteed issue, so no need to answer health questions on the hospital plan. And then last but not least is short-term disability. So with AFLAC, you're able to cover up to 67% of your monthly income. The elimination periods are a little more customizable with AFLAC, which allows you to do a 0-7 or a 0-14 elimination period. So those zeros mean that you would have to wait 0 days for an off-the-job injury. It would start paying the very first day that a doctor said you could not work, and would cover up to the benefit amount that you chose for the duration, either 3 months or 6 months. And then again, that 7 or the 14 would be the elimination period for a sickness. So either the first 7 days are not covered or the first 14 days are not covered. And then that is it for the AFLAC plans. So if you are an existing policy holder, oh, perfect, we have it on the screen here. Just wanted to let you know that an AFLAC agent will be reaching out to you to discuss the options to see if the plan you already have is a better option for you, or if moving to these group policies would be a better option. And then there's also this link that you can schedule for a one-on-one consultation. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Jose, and his email and phone number there as well.
Any questions on anything on the AFLAC coverages? So these are going to also be, if you know what you want to enroll in, you can do it via the online system. Again, as Ashley stated, if you want that one-on-one consultation, you can go to the Time Trade link. Send Jose an email or give him a call and he'll be happy to go over. There's also online enrollment available as well, or telephonic enrollment, I should say. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Moving forward with the pet health care, so it's still available. So there was an increase to the price, $1.22, I believe, $1.26 that it went up. So you do have to enroll via the portal, the United Pet Care portal. So it is unitedpetcare.com/CBR. When you're on the portal, you may enter your zip code and see if the veterinarian that you currently utilize is part of the United Pet Care network already. And if so, you can start taking advantage of some of those discounts that are available to your pet. So they do cover all types of pet with the exception of fish. There are no pre-existing limitations in regards to for pets, or there are no breed exclusions either. Some really good services and discounts available. Legal Shield and ID Shield is still being offered. So the Legal Shield is a suite of attorneys that you have at your disposal. They can help with things as contract review, divorce, trial defense services, and they have also a library, a pretty extensive library of legal documents. Now, in both of these plans, you may enroll separately with both of them for yourself or the family coverage. The ID Shield helps protect against identity theft, so they're constantly monitoring the internet, your credit bureau, make sure no one is attempting to use your information, to obtain goods, services, and things of that nature. And then if you're a victim of identity theft today, you enroll in the plan beginning 2021, they will help in the restoration of your identity, contacting authorities, the credit bureaus, and doing all that legwork for you. Next step, so you do have to log into the Darwinet or D2 system. That link is available and on the invite. You have to enroll or waive the medical, dental, vision, and again, the voluntary AFLAC products are loaded there. What we need back from everyone is that enrollment on the D2 system, on the Darwinet system, and your company paid life insurance beneficiary form. Those are the two things that we need back from everyone. If you're not going to enroll in any of the other voluntary products, you don't have to return anything else. If you're enrolling on the flexible spending account or FSA, you do need to complete an enrollment annually. It does not automatically renew or roll over. If you're enrolling in the high deductible health plan and you have an existing UMB account, you do not need to open a new account. We just need to know what your pre-tax deduction is going to be or contribution into that account. That is what we need back from everyone. If you have the univoluntary life insurance, it is moving to MetLife, so we will need a new form from everyone. If you need to know how much you have, you can contact your HR representative and they can tell you what you currently have. If you know how much you have and you want to keep it the same, just complete your demographic information, check the box and say leave the same and send it in, and we'll make sure that your coverage rolls over to MetLife beginning of the year. Any questions on anything we've gone over today? Okay, I will send out the YouTube link to Brita later this afternoon, so this presentation will be available to everyone who was not able to make the meeting or for reference.
I have a question.
Of course.
Oh, good. Okay, I got me unmuted. I have a dependent who is turning 26 during the year. Does her coverage stop on the day she turns 26, or does it go for the full calendar year?
So for dependent who turned 26, their coverage terminates on the last day of the month in which they turn 26.
The last day of the month. Okay.
Yes.
Write that down. Not forget.
Any other questions?
This is real helpful. Anybody else have questions?
All right. I did receive an email, and I am waiting on a response from Blue Cross Blue Shield in regards to those questions. So as soon as I get a reply, I'll send it back. If anybody has any requests or questions, please send them to me, and I will be happy to help. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you very much.